Welcome everyone to Automobilista 2. Yes, I finally got my hands on this game. I've been talking about it before, but I finally get to play it today. Get to show off some cool things about it, some cool DLC as well. Um, the game is still on sale if you are interested in buying this game. I don't know how long. But if you're considering buying the game, I suggest you do it now because 70% off is quite a steal nowadays. Along with the game, I also bought the season pass, so I get access to a lot of DLC. I'll show off some of it later. But as you can see, we are going to start off with some stock car Brazil racing. Going to use the 2024 model. Going to be racing as Nelson Piquet Jr., for the race, we're going to be doing a 20-minute sprint race. Weather isn't going to be anything crazy. We're going to use rolling starts, just like the real thing. For the opponents, I decided 24 because one race I saw in this series, I saw 25 drivers, so 24 opponents. 103 for the AI. It could be easy to cut through the field, but it should give me a good battle for getting from last to first. So hopefully that's exciting. AI aggression, I'm doing medium because, I'll be honest, some AI tend to do some really dumb stuff if you set it to high difficulty or high aggression. So medium should mitigate that. Also, AI mistakes are set to standard. I think it's cool that we get to see some AI mistakes in a sim like this. So, let's head off to Interlagos and race some Brazilian stock cars. Looking at the lineup here, we have both the Chevy and Toyota models, which is cool. But not only that, we have real drivers in this series, like Rafael Suzuki, Eduardo Barrichello, Ricardo Zonta, Felipe and Bruno Batista, Arthur Laced, I think he used to race IndyCar, and this is not some mod or custom-made roster. Thanks to Rise Studios' involvement with Stock Car Brazil, they got the actual rosters, and now we get to race them on Automobilista 2, so that's really cool to see. And you can probably see throughout the game, there's a lot of like unique Brazilian and Argentine circuits because Race Studios is based out of Brazil, so you're going to see a lot of more South American content, which is also cool. Finally get to see some South American content being represented in the game. But no more delay, let's get into the race. Waiting for the lights to come on. Hoping to go last to first. Green flag at Interlagos. Everyone's going to be fanning out looking for spots early on. Gonna take a bit of a risk into turn one. Don't want to dive bomb everyone, but definitely want to get some spots early. Oh, getting a bit loose on the curbs. Probably tried to attack it too much. But we're still up to 18th. Got 7 spots off the start already. Through turn 5. Getting the car up to temperature, both tires and brakes. Number 12, Forsty, is a bit slow up the hill. I don't know if that's other AI going slow or what. Try to get to the inside of a brew. Might have been a bit risky. Don't know if I waited too late on that. Hopefully up here we can go for the spot. And we do. We take the spot. So now we're up to P16 in just one lap. Maybe one more as well as we send it down the inside again. We're now ahead of Bueno. up to 15th, and now we're going to work on Peacock for 14th. Right now, Ricardo Zonta leads the race in front of Julio Campos. Oh, kind of left the lane open there, did he? Probably could have sent it down the inside, but I'm more worried about getting this car fully up to grip before attempting some risky passes. But we still got the spot regardless. 11 spots in just a couple of laps is a very good start. Whoa, having to catch the car on the exit, but we do have an opening for 13. Got it done perfectly. That's one thing I like about this car as well. You definitely need some precision with this car, but a small mistake isn't going to hurt you too much as long as you have good car control. As long as you easily save it, you'll still be on a good track. As we try to battle with Sarah for 12th. He's probably taking advantage of the slipstream up ahead, but we're going to try to stay to the inside in turn 1. No, he's going to beat me out to it. I can't believe he actually did that. Gonna stay glued to his bumper. Down the back straightaway and into turn 4. And looks like we're not gonna have enough there either. Gonna go for a crossover move. Going back down the hill. Hopefully this works out. And it did. We're up to 12th. Now we gotta work on Morrow in the 11. Sending it down the inside into turn 1. And we get the move done there as well. Up to 11. We're on lap 4 right now. One cool thing I also like about racing stock cars, or the Brazilian stock cars in this game, the driver names are all correlated to the actual paint livery. So you're not going to see any like random switching of paint schemes and stuff like that. Like Ricardo Zonta is going to be driving one paint scheme in one race and a completely different car in another. Ricardo Zonta is driving his actual car as it is in the real world. Down the front straightaway, we caught up to the back of Camilo, who's trying to go for a move on Elias. Gonna be interesting to see if he's going to take the inside or the outside. He's gonna go for the inside, definitely not risking it free wide into that corner. But at some point we're gonna have to get around these guys because we don't want to lose too much time. Oh, wall up the curb a bit too much. Couldn't get to the inside of Camilo. I don't know if it's my problem specifically on this game as little rear walk up, but even though I'm in someone's slipstream and I'm in rich mixture, I cannot close in on them, I feel like. I don't know if that's my problem or it's a game problem, but definitely don't want that happening as we try to get around the 21. Setting it on his left side. And he backs off, which is weird as we're having to save the car again. So we're up into 10th. Now just need to work on Elias. So just to show you, I'm in rich mixture on Elias. And as you can see, I'm not gaining anything on him. He's actually pulling away. So I don't know how to explain that. Gonna try to pass him on the left. I had to back off a little bit, don't want to hit him. So we're almost at 10 minutes left. A little slide again, but we have a spot. Elias tried to go for the crossover, but it's not going to work for him. We're up into 9th, but we have a big gap here to make up. Botched that braking zone a bit. I missed my braking point there. Rafael Suzuki looks like he got around Campos for 7th. Still a tight battle between the top 3, Ricardo Zonta, Eduardo Barrichello, and Julio Campos. Somehow getting around Ramos pretty easily. And he is right on my freaking bumper. Like, if you're gonna be that close, you might as well try to go for a pass. 8 minutes to go as we're closing in on lap 8. We now have a chance on Rafael Suzuki. Only a few lengths behind him. Oh, and Ramos, I think, is going for a spot. Got to leave some space for him. But we defend our spot pretty well. Switching back to the inside again. Trying to get the move done on Rafael. Still on the left. And now we're clear as we're locking up pretty much all of the brakes into the next corner. But we're up to 7th. Now we just have to hope for a good battle between Bruno Baptista and Casagrande so we can close in on them. Having to do some defensive driving on Rafael entering turn 1. I did not have a good last corner. But that was a good enough job, it looks like, to hold on to 7th. But now he wants to come back on the inside, coming out of turn 3. Less than 6 minutes to go. And the battle for 7th is on. Oh my god, oh, botched it. I botched it again. Missed the braking point again. And we've lost 2 spots, all because of that. So yeah, that's a pretty embarrassing botch into turn 4. Closing back in on both drivers as we have a pretty good freeway battle going on. Trying to pass Ramos for 8th, and then we work on Rafael Suzuki for 7th. Still side by side down the front straightaway. And we get the move done around the outside of 2 on Ramos. Damn, not again, not enough. Down the inside of the last corner. But the gap between 6th and 7th, that's Casagrande and Rafael Suzuki, is getting even wider. This might be a bit impossible to even reach the top 5 at this point, as we have about 2.5 minutes left in the race. And, oh, and he freaking comes down and hits me for no reason. You're that bad, you're getting passed twice, so you throw that. Come on. It looks like this will be the last lap of the race. We have less than a minute left now. I'd say 25th to 7th is still a really good run considering what we're up against. Just gotta bring this car home in one piece as Raphael trying to dive down the inside. Whoa, a bit too much gas again on exit. Having to back off to catch the car. Gonna have to protect the inside heading into turn 4. Successful defense right there. Up the hill again. And into turn 6. The AI for some reason seemed to go really slow up the hill. Maybe they just didn't get the AI perfect there as we had a major rear lockup. Having to do a big time catch on the car. Back down the hill, trying to open up the gap as much as I can. Get a quick exit, and it looks like it's going to be very close heading to the line. Ricardo Zonta and Eduardo Barrichello, a sprint to the line. It looks like Ricardo's going to get it. Julio Campos gets 3rd, Felipe Bautista 4th. We're going to have to settle for 7th today. But I really like how this car handles and how you have to manage little nuances throughout. I think that's pretty realistic. But now it's time to get into some DLC content. I think a good idea here is to use what in the game is called Formula USA, but these cars right here are from the 1995 CART IndyCar Championship or Series, whatever we're calling it. Like, I know there was World Series and then just Series, but this car in particular, the Reynard 95i Ford Cosworth, this was driven by Jacques Villeneuve en route to his Indy 500 victory and CART title before heading off to Formula One and becoming world champion in 1997. Especially an important year in IndyCar history because this was the last year before we had the CART IRL split. So the last time we would see IndyCar as one series for a long time. The split ended up lasting 12 seasons. It's not the only Formula USA category on here. We even have Gen 2 for 1998. I'd say even during the split, late 90s CART was still very awesome. The talent was stacked. The use of the Hanford device on the super speedways made racing awesome on those tracks. Then we have Gen 3, which is the 2000 series. A lot of memorable stars from that era. Too bad it had to be tainted by the split. And then we have the 2023 season. So we're going to be driving as Jacques Villeneuve heading into Road America. The settings this time will be different. We will do 17 laps. That's a 1/3 distance race of the real race at Road America. We will have a mandatory pit stop. It has to be 4 tires at least. And for the difficulty, I lowered it down to 100 because these cars can be difficult to drive. It's definitely not going to be an easy road to getting first in this car. And then the opponents will be bumped up to 27 because there were 28 cars in the real life race here at Road America. So with that in mind, let's get to kart racing. As we load onto the grid, you can see we have a couple of real names on here like Emerson Fittipaldi and Raul Boesel. They're Brazilian, so of course you got to have them in here. But a lot of these names, You might not recognize it first, but if you squint hard enough, you might see some resemblances. Like Rob Hall is supposed to be Bobby Rahal. Mick Confetti is supposed to be Michael Andretti. Alan Cruiser is supposed to be Alan Zer Jr. At least they think. I don't know if my guesses might not be fully accurate, but Tony Fabio is supposed to be Tio Fabi. Sven Swanson is supposed to be Stefan Johansson. James Vase is supposed to be Jamie Vasser. Peter Racy, of course, Paul Tracy. And of course, the list continues from here. So, at least they tried to get as many names as possible on here. Of course, you're not going to get all of them, but they try to get it similar. We're going to do a 19-lap fuel load so we can throw it some rich mixture. We might have to do some fuel strategy as well. The lights are coming on. Green flag, I wrote America. Right behind Daisy on the inside as we enter the first corner. Why are we going this slow into the... Like, I was going to take it easy, but I don't want to go this easy. Oh my god, and Daisy doesn't want to pick his line. We'll move around the outside. We're up to 27th, but we're now battling for 26 with Granco. I know one of these guys is supposed to be Roberto Guerrero, but the names are kind of too similar for me to tell. Like, it's either Granco or Rivero, who's up ahead in 24th. Can't risk it that much, but we should get 25th out of this, get a good exit. There we go. Another key to making this car last is early braking. You don't want to risk it in the braking points too much, or else you're going to really lock up the tires. And I tried to go down the inside of Rivero, but that did not work. Oh, and I turned in way too soon on the freaking curb. What am I doing? So already starting off the race with some stupidity there, but we close back in on Rivero, sort of. Maybe some slipstream on the front stretch will help me take the spot. Not enough to go down the inside of turn 1 there. I can already see on the tire gauge, the left front seems to already be wearing out, all because of the lockups we had earlier. As Rivero grabs a bit too much curb, we're going to take the spot away down the back straightaway. Going down the inside into the next corner. And we take the spot from Parks. That puts us up into 23rd. Nice, so we have some time to cool down through the kink. Gotta try to go on the right-hand side to get around Matsuzaka. Very close between us four in the pack. But we take the spot away. We're going to take it very easy in this corner to ramp up on the exit. Kind of helps Ver, as Guerra, for some reason, not staying in race slipstream. I think he's trying to block me. Maybe a double overtake into turn 1. Already. What the hell? Did he just turn down into me? What are you? We weren't even close to the apex. And he just comes down into me. What are you doing? Gonna try again on race. Down into turn 3. Bit of a lockup on the left front again. But we should have him on this next turn. Damn, we don't. Still side by side. Trying to clear him before the loop. No, he's gonna stay down there. Maybe I need to be more aggressive into the braking zones in order to clear him. That might be my problem, but I'm just so worried about locking up the brakes that I don't know what to do sometimes. Oh, and a major botch there. I missed the braking point. That's gonna send me wide. And raises back around. Thought the brakes were all good, but then that happens. So, gonna have to get back to work. Looks like Bobby Rahal has taken the lead of the race from Alonso Jr. Michael Andretti rounding up the podium for the moment. Oh. Trying to take a bit too much curb on exit. And I'm not even braking that much into the corner. How am I locking it up that bad? Maybe a little moving the brake bites to the rear should help, and forgot to shift down. That's embarrassing. Not going to go for the move in the king. Going to have to wait behind. Send it on the right-hand side. And we have already cleared it before we enter the braking zone. So, overtaking him again on lap 4. Now we just settle in and try to close in on Eddie Cheever ahead. Finally closing in on Eddie Cheever, or in this case, Cheetah, in 19th, trying to take his spot away. We have some very good slipstream. And I think entering this corner, we're going to lower the fuel mixture down to normal as all there's some contact. I'm going to have to look at the replay to see whose fault that was. Like, I felt like I obeyed my line, but I might be wrong. Don't really have the best viewpoint from right here. But we still have the spot anyway. We're just going to move on. Whoa, we have an incident up here. Fierro and Dams spun around, made some contact. And that's caused a big stack up in the field, and now it's a big gap between me and Matsukoshi in 16th. Definitely want to look at pitting soon, because that left front tire does look pretty beat up, probably from all the brake lockups. But now that we pretty much reached a stage of the race on our own, you probably notice, or you probably don't, I do have a new audio setup. I'm using a microphone that was given to me as a gift to help with these videos, instead of using some crappy microphone on my headset. I'm sure the audio right now definitely isn't perfect. I might need to take some time to tweak things out, but I definitely want to hear your feedback on the new audio in the comments, so I can be able to tweak it and try to make it better, because I think with this new microphone I can make the audio a lot better than it used to be with the headset. Looks like we have someone in the pits. That's 16th place Julian. Don't know who's supposed to be based off of. Left front tire seems to be wearing a lot less now that I'm more confident under braking. Definitely locking up a lot less. And I might even be closing in on Matsukoshi ahead. Just gotta keep up the momentum. Side by side right now between Guerra and Matsukoshi. Could be an interesting fight if they try to battle with each other a bit more. Could definitely use some battles right now. Driving alone like this is kind of boring. Especially when I'm not doing good. And it looks like Paul Tracy is going into the pits from 13th. So is Matsukoshi, so that means the driver ahead, Guerra, is going to be driving on his own. Alonso Jr. now in the pits. Another weird screen freeze. That's going to put Bobby Rahal in the lead. Wonder when he's going to pit. Gotta think it's soon. Because he doesn't want all these guys with new tires passing him. That's aka an undercut if you guys aren't aware. Just pit sooner, use the new tires to go faster for a lap or two, and then that's how you pass them after your target makes their pit stop. Michael Andretti is also in the pits as we try to chase down Guerra. I want to say that this is Roberto Guerrero, only because of the first initial, and that's the closest I can think of that's, I guess, close to the last name Guerrero. See, trying to request a pit stop right now. I'm not seeing anything come up, which is weird. Trying to lower my fuel all the way down because I don't need the fuel, and I'm not going to need any repairs. I just need the new tires to put on. Here we go, into the pits. Gotta slow it all the way down, locking up, trying to get below the speed limit. I don't know if 60 kilometers an hour is the right speed limit, but universally that's, or at least universally in the game Automobilista 2, that's the accepted one, so that's what I'm gonna roll with. So we got the new tires on. Not really much to talk about now other than all the guys passing us. Now we're on pit road. Now the key is to keep an eye on the fuel, because I want to keep it below 7 liters used per lap so we can actually make it to the end. If it goes anywhere over that, we're going to have to use some lean mixture. Matsukoshi very slow through that corner. I don't know if he's... I thought he pitted. Like, there's a reason he's still close ahead of us. Fuel right now seems to be going good now that I'm using some lean mixture at certain points. Not able to go down the inside of turn 1. Might have to wait until turn 3 to do so. Very good exit on Matsukoshi. Off to the left. Drag race into the braking zone. And overtake him just like that. Or stay on my right side. There we go. Now we got the move done. Passing a couple cars in the pits. Bats, Dams, and Roberto Guerrero. Assuming that is Roberto Guerrero. A bit too much curve on turn 1, but the car stays pretty stable. I don't know if P17 is going to be our permanent spot, because I don't know who's exactly, if who's pitted, who hasn't. I know Bobby Rahal. Oh, he's gonna be in the pits finally. Oh, it's, for some reason the screen skipped there. That caused me to go a bit wide. I gotta say, now that I'm prioritizing, like, just being, like, consistent with the brakes and not locking up, making those, any of those dumb mistakes, this car is, like, very good to drive. Like, I feel like now that I'm used to it, I can just drive it wherever I want and be confident about it for once. Just find my braking point, stick to it, press the gas on exit, and off we go. Another one of the pits, that's Matsuzaka in the pits. That's going to promote us to 14th. Emerson Fittipaldi is leading the way, however, that's by 20 seconds. I don't think he's pitted yet. I think he still has to pit. Just checking my fuel mixture there, make sure it's still at normal. As long as we're keeping the fuel usage under 7 liters per lap as expected, we'll make it to the end. The fuel looks really good right now the way it is. And just as I say that, Emerson Fittipaldi is in the pits. Looks like the lead could change hands back to Bobby Rahal. Oh, having to brake a bit there to avoid getting into the grass. Do not want to do that. That'd be one of the worst mistakes I've ever made right there. I already did the mandatory stop. I don't know why it's telling me to pit. I already did the mandatory stop. 4 tires. I'm gonna keep going and see what happens, but that should not be happening. Are you... Why am I... Oh, I'm about to freaking throw a chair out a window in a second. I took a freaking pit stop. Look, 1 pit stop. How the hell am I getting DQ'd when I already made a pit stop? What the hell is this? Well, I don't know how to explain what happened there other than something happened. I don't know why I took a 4-tire pit stop and yet still got disqualified, so, I'm assuming something's wrong with the game. Maybe we should have just stuck to no pit stops. If anyone has had the same problem or knows any solutions, please let me know, because I do not want that happening to me again. Thank you all regardless for sticking around for this Automobilista 2 video. If you want to see more Automobilista 2 content like this, please like and subscribe. It'll mean a lot to the channel, and I'll see you all another time.